How is it going, YouTube? It's ElbaNinja7, your favorite healing YouTuber, and today we're going to be going over all of the tier sets for each of the healing specs and that have been announced recently for Dragonflight Season 2. So they've been announced, they're kind of hidden in the blue post, honestly. I had to kind of dig for them. But we're going to be reviewing them. We're just going to be scrolling down whenever we hit a healer. We'll talk about it. Some of them are pretty OP, seem very strong. Honestly, we have some of the stronger tier sets. I think Liquid Max is live right now doing a tier set review or like a tier list kind of, but and some of them are at the top. So let's look at this. And now I do want to say these are subject to change. It is pretty early in the PTR testing, so don't take all of these numbers as the final. But what that means is that we need to be commenting, we need to be talking and creating a discussion. If we notice something is off, some interactions might be a little too strong, or not fun. Now is the time. So comment down below if you guys notice anything. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit subscribe, because we are growing, and I really want to keep growing so I can do this full time. So now we have hit our first healer, and that is Restoration Druid. So this is Druid. So the 2 set bonus, Rejuve and Life Bloom, the two like kind of marquee hots, healing is increased by 15%. Okay, this does not seem like a lot, and it's honestly not a lot on Life Bloom, but on Rejuve it's a lot. Rejuve is a spammable hot. It does not have a cooldown. You just can blanket your whole raid in it. So very strong for for raid. Now for Mythic Plus, Life Bloom is a little stronger because you put it on your tank most of the time. And it's just a stronger hot, but you only get like 1 of it compared to like you can get 20 out. You can literally get all 20 out in a raid. So this is very strong, but let's read this too. Regrowth healing over time is also increased. Okay, so this is a very weak hot, honestly, but oh man, just buffs. These are going to be really good. Now it kind of makes sense why they've been nerfing Druid's healing so much. This healing, this 15% healing on Rejuve, it's going to be quite noticeable, so that's a great 2 set. Now, Rest of Druid's 4 set, Flourish increases the rate of your heal over time effects by 40%. For an additional 16 seconds after it ends. Verdant Infusion causes your Swift Mend target to gain 15% increased healing. Okay, so this is really cool for Mythic Plus. So Verdant Infusion versus Flourish, though you basically have to choose between one of these talents. This extends your hots as a single target. This extends your hots as like the whole raid. So Flourish is like a raid cooldown that basically it'll extend all the hots and make them tick a little faster while they're extended. But this extends them for 16 seconds. So for those of you that don't know, extending hots is great on Druids, but the counterpart of that is making them tick faster, and that's kind of where this it'll be powerful, don't get me wrong, but it might be frustrating. Increasing that rate for 16 seconds is going to be very frustrating. But I will say for the Mythic Plus fans, this is great. I mean, making your tank basically take 15% more healing. You use Swiftman when someone needs more healing, when a single target does. So getting more healing is great there. So developers notes, the duration of the 4-piece Flourish bonus is halved if Flourish is cast by Convoke the Spears. Okay, so you can get a Flourish by Convoking. So that's weird, but makes sense. It's going to be a lesser version of that. But wow, 16 seconds, 40% faster. That's just going to basically make them have to start over their ramp. But it's going to be very strong, don't get me wrong. Oh, okay, so Evoker, I have not even read this one. Okay. Spirit Bloom applies a heal over time effect for 40% of the healing done over 8 seconds. Dream Breath's healing is increased by 15%. Dream Breath is honestly such a powerful hot. You just breathe healing on people in front of you. It only hits a set amount of targets. Spirit Bloom also hits a set amount of targets. So Spirit Bloom is just an AoE heal talent that you can take. Also, applying a hot is just going to be really good. I mean, there's a lot of times where it'll fully top people up and then they'll take a little bit of damage, and just having an extra hot is good. This is just all bonuses, so which is what you would expect from a tier set, but this is really good. So I don't know, they're trying to kind of take Preservation Evokers out of just their rotation, which is just like spamming Temporal Anomaly off cooldown and then just applying big hots. But now they're trying to kind of spread that power, which is good. They need to spread that power out amongst their kit. Okay, so after casting 3 empowered spells, gain Essence Burst immediately and another 3 seconds later. So Essence Burst makes your next Echo, Emerald Blossom, and Disintegrate. So one of those 3 spells, whichever one you want to use, it makes it free. It makes it not cast its little cost. So that's good. I mean, you'll basically in parties you'll get 2 free Echoes, whereas in raids you'll get 2 free Emerald Blossoms. Or if you just need single target damage, Disintegrate is fine. That's okay, but 3 empowered spells, I mean, that's what? Fire Breath, Dream Breath, and then Spirit Bloom, so I guess you just get that rotation. Free stuff is always free, so not bad tier set. I think Preservation Evokers are probably going to be wanting a little bit more than this, but that, I mean, increasing Dream Breath healing is probably not necessary in its own right, so. Alright, oh, we got our best friends here, Mistweavers, so shout out to those of you that are still playing Mistweaver with me, So our 2 set, Renewing Mist has a chance to grant Soul Fang Infusion, granting 5% of your max mana over 2 seconds. This is amazing. This is amazing. We're going to get 5% of our mana basically every like 10 seconds with Renewing Mist. That is awesome. Okay, mana has been such a big issue for Mistweavers in the past, and just seeing it on a tier set, seeing it just directly addressed. I hope they don't tweak this number unless they make it bigger. I hope they don't make it into 2.5% of your maximum mana. Just keep it as it is. This is great. Basically making Renewing Mist net us mana is great. I love this. Great job, Blizzard devs. You guys have been listening. Give us some mana. We still have some issues, but I mean, you guys have really slowly been adjusting those. So next up, our 4-piece. It's another tea one. So drinking a tea, so that might include mana tea. So drinking a tea or gaining Soul Fang Infusion, so by casting Renewing Mist, increases the healing of your Vivify and Renewing Mists. Oh, not just your next one. Just it increases them for 6 seconds by 40%. That is powerful. Okay, you drink a tea. You get Verdant Infusion, that little buff to like your haste or whatever spell you cast next. So drink a tea, cast Renewing Mist, getting a big haste buff, and then spamming Vivifies for 6 seconds. You can probably get like 6 of them in, and that is strong. That is strong. Okay, Mistweavers might be kind of nutty, and we have some ways to reduce our cooldowns of our tea. But drinking a tea, I don't know. Do they just mean like Tea of Serenity, Tea of Plenty? Like, do they kind of just want to word it like that? I don't know. Hey, we'll see if this works with like Mana Tea, because that is really good. That is really good. Okay, great tier set for Mistweavers. But let's move on. Oh, right away we got Holy Paladin. So Holy Shock's critical strikes heal for 15% more and reduce the cooldown of Light's Hammer by 2 seconds and Holy Prism by 1 second. So these 2 abilities are just like, they kind of can be damage or healing abilities. So it'll just reduce our cooldown, and that's good. They're good in Mythic Plus. Like Light's Hammer, you just put a circle down. It'll pulse out damage to anything in it and healing. It's not much. Neither of these do like big numbers. But just getting those more in a rotational, I guess, reducing that cooldown to kind of bring them back into your rotation a little bit more, because I think this is like 45 seconds, and I want to say Holy Prism's like 30. It's been a while since I played Paladin. Could be way off on that, but, or maybe it's like 15. I don't know, but really cool. Honestly, I love these. Both these abilities are really cool. Okay, so 4 set. Light's Hammer heals 100% more frequently. Okay, interesting. So this is going to become more of, basically you just use this for damage when I played Paladin. So this is going to become just better at healing, which is great. And generates 1 holy power every 4 seconds. Wow, okay. That is good. That's going to get you a couple of holy power just for free. I mean, like I said, free stuff is free. So this is really cool. I mean, making this more viable than it probably was in Raid. I need to play Paladin more, but from what I know, this wasn't like big in their charts. So this is going to be really good. But then let's see. Holy Prism's healing is increased by 80% and generates 1 holy power if cast on an enemy target. So how it works is you target either an enemy or an ally. If you target an enemy, it's going to heal some more of your allies. It's going to prism out. But if you target an ally, it's going to prism out and deal damage to multiple enemies. So if you target an enemy and heal your allies, you'll get 1 holy power. So if you target a boss, heal your allies, you'll get 1 holy power. Or you get 3 if it's cast on an ally to deal AoE damage. So really good Mythic Plus, just a bonus. It's literally just a bonus in Raid. So I mean, this is cool. It's not super exciting, I will say. This is just not super exciting. Like this, you won't. I'm sure no one's gonna make like a weak or to know if this actually happened, or pay attention to how many crits they get on their holy shocks. So all in all, it's like it's just a bonus. It's just a little mini buff. It's nothing too exciting, too sexy. So okay, now we got the double whammy. We got Priest right after. So this is Discipline Priest. So casting Penance on an enemy also heals a nearby ally at 20% effectiveness. Casting Penance on an ally also damages a nearby enemy at 35% effectiveness. So if you don't know, Penance is you basically just channel and shoot out like 3 beams while you're channeling, and you can either target an ally and do all that healing to that one person, or target an enemy and deal all the damage to the enemy. Now where it gets interesting is now that choice is kind of lessened. So if you target an ally, you're going to be doing a little bit as damage. It's going to branch off and do damage. I'll come back to that. If you target an enemy, just do all the damage, you're still going to be healing an ally, just getting a base healing. That way, you won't get like stuck in a channel. If you're channeling Penance to do damage, one of your allies starts taking damage, at least a little bit of that might heal them. But where this is interesting is, if you've never played Discipline Priest before, how they kind of do most of their healing is through their atonement. So some of their spells apply atonement, just it's a buff on your allies, and what it means is when you do damage, that is converted to some healing on those people with atonement. So my question is, if you choose an ally with Penance, if you're targeting an ally with Penance and a little bit of that branches off and hits the boss, will that little bit also trigger atonement, which is very interesting, very cool. I do kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of torn here because I like how Penance is kind of like, it has 2 modes, but now it's like it's less of a 2-mode spell, but it's cool. I will say it is strong, especially if that branching little bit of damage will proc atonement. That's gonna be really cool. So let's see, they're 4 set. Every 3 casts of Penance grants you Shadow Covenant for 5 seconds and converts that penance to a shadow spell. So Shadow Covenant is just a little buff that you do to yourself that buffs all your shadow spells and then makes some of your normally like light spells or something like that into shadow spells to get that buff. So every 3 casts of Penance, I'm pretty sure Penance is on like a 10-second cooldown. I want to say, let's see, Penance Priest. I'm pretty sure it's 10-second. This is probably not good. It's 9-second. Okay, so I was close. So basically every 27 seconds, because you do cast it basically on cooldown, unless you're holding it for your ramp. So every basically 30 seconds, for 5 seconds, you just get buffed. I mean, that's cool. It's cool. I'm not sure how exciting this is going to be, if it's going to be playing around it, or what this actually does feel like is Resto Druid's tier set last season. So in Shadowlands, where every couple casts of, or 3 casts of Swiftman, you became a tree and just did a little extra healing, got some mana reduction. So pretty cool. Not as sexy as Mistweavers, honestly. They need some mana help too. So I was really hoping to see some mana help after seeing that Mistweaver mana help. So now we're gonna get into Holy Priest. Now, disclaimer, I have played the least amount of Holy Priest out of all the healing specs. It's probably right there next to Paladin, but I actually have played 0 Holy Priest, but I know a little bit about it. So Prayer of Mending has a 20% chance to duplicate to another nearby target when it jumps. So Prayer of Mending, you put like a bubble on your teammate. When they take damage, it'll heal them for a little bit and then jump to the next person. And I believe it jumps up to 4 times. So you're going to have a 20% chance 4 times to duplicate to another nearby target when it jumps. So if you're lucky, you'll get 1. If not, if you're really lucky, you'll get 2. I doubt you'll see 3 extra jumps. But also I kind of want to see, so every time it jumps, it kind of loses a little charge, if you want to kind of help yourself know it like that. Think of the swarm that druids get, where like every time it jumps, it kind of loses a charge. I wonder if when it duplicates, if those are going to start at having 4 more jumps left, or I don't know. That's going to be interesting. It might have some weird coding in it, but that's interesting. Okay. It's just, like I said, it's free healing, free bonus healing. So when Prayer of Mending jumps, so when it does jump, it increases the damage and healing of your next holy word by 4%, stacking up to 15 times. So that can go up to 60%. But I doubt that you're going to let it get up to 60 before you cast a holy word spell. Priests are doing a ton of damage right now, so this is going to be pretty good. In Mythic Plus, I doubt that, like I said, they'll let it jump that many times. But then in Raid, you know, I don't know if they spam a holy word spell, but I would think their holy word spells for holy priests are like their bigger spells, unless they're using you know, I don't know enough to speak on this, but it does seem like it can be strong, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be letting it stack up all the way. But like I said, anything's free. If you get a 4% bonus to your holy word, that's fine. You take that. But pretty cool, pretty cool. I don't know. It's one of those where they're not going to play around it. This isn't going to change their rotation. I wouldn't think. I think Prayer of Mending is just a spell that they were casting every now and then anyways, so I don't know if they're gonna like have, you know, watch that timer even closer. But yeah, so that's Priest. So far nothing great. I do think it's cool, but I don't think either of those are super powerful. Let's get into Shaman. Okay, so Restoration Shaman. When you cast Healing Rain, all allies with your Riptide on them are healed by Tide Waters. Okay, so Healing Rain, you just put a circle down, it'll start raining on them and healing them. But we've seen that this also gets buffed by one of their other talents. Every time you use your Lava Burst, I want to say, it just buffs your next like nature spell or some types of spells, and Healing Rain is one of those. So that'll be, I wonder if that'll buff this extra healing, but it looks like being healed by Tide Waters is going to be an extra source, an external source, and probably won't get buffed by that. But in Raid, you get a lot of Riptides out. You really do. It's your hot. So that's going to be nice. But in Mythic Plus, also you do get a lot of Riptides out. Honestly, this is a good tier set. Just buff the healing. Give them more healing. As you've probably noticed, there is a Druid talent that if you cast Wild Growth while people are in your Efflorescence, they'll get healed by a little burst amount. So it seems like they took that Restoration and just copy-pasted it here. But it's really cool. I mean, honestly, I think this is something that they were needed, especially if this is like a juicy amount. So we'll see how that feels. That is one to watch, I will say. It could add up to a lot of healing. So they're 4-piece. Restoration Shaman's 4-piece. Each ally healed by Tide Waters increases your haste by 1%. Oh, for 6 seconds, it's not that much. And increases the healing of your next Riptide by 10%. Okay, so this feels a lot more of a Mythic Plus thing. I mean, the extra haste is going to be good in Raid. Don't get me wrong. I mean, any amount of haste is good, especially on Resto Shamans. They do like haste. I don't think they like taking it on items. They like to get it from other sources. But each ally healed by Tide Waters, I don't see this healing a lot of people. So at most you'll probably get like 6 or 7% haste, and then that'll increase. Oh, it just says by a flat 10%. It doesn't say that this will scale up. Like if you have it on 6 people, you would get 60%. It doesn't say that, so I don't know if that's how it's going to work. So yeah, this is going to be one to watch. It's going to give them haste, which can be kind of disgusting, and we'll see how it scales. But this one is really cool. I will say it is really cool, and it adds a lot of flavor, and like you're going to be sending a little tidal wave through a healing rain. So I think it's very cool. So that one is that. Are there any other healers? Have I not said any of them? That looks like the last healer. So far, they're all pretty good. There are some that are clearly better than others, but I think it's good because those are on the worst specs. So I say worse. Hopefully I'm not making anyone upset, all my Mistweaver friends out there, but it looks like they're buffing, basically using this as an opportunity to buff some areas that some specs were kind of having trouble with. But I will say that for me personally, this does not make me want to play my Holy Paladin. This does make me want to play my Mistweaver, and let's see. I guess while we're here, I might as well rank them in terms of how cool I think they are. I think Mistweaver is definitely top, and I'm not just saying that as a bias. I think it is the best and the coolest. But if you average out how good these are versus how good the class is, I think they all kind of balance out if that makes sense. So Mistweaver and then Resto Druid, I would definitely say. And then I guess Preservation Evoker, just because I love Dream Breath. Honestly, I think it's really cool. And just buffing that's cool. And then Free Echoes is going to be nice in Mythic Plus. So Mistweaver, Resto Druid, Preservation Evoker, and then I'm going to have to go with Discipline Priest. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go Resto Shaman after that. And then Discipline Priest, and then probably Holy Priest, Holy Paladin. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you like any of these more than the others, if you have a little tier list of your own, I would love to see what you guys are thinking. If I just thought of something wrong, if I had a number wrong, please let me know down below, because this is my first time looking over these, and I kind of just want to share that moment with you guys and see my first look, especially at that Mistweaver tier set. I'm really happy with it. So let me know what you guys think down below, and while you're down there, make sure and smash that subscribe button. Do all that YouTube sellout stuff, because it's making my dreams come true of becoming a YouTuber. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.